Okay, let's give it a test. See if this new firmware will work. Notice the bar is a bit slow coming up to the power or battery runner. Anyway, I'm going to adjust the camera down so it gets more of it. Right, let's try it. This camera's moving a bit. Right, let's try again. So here we are with it. This is the C600. Very nice. I love all the stuff. It's got loads of things you can do to it inside. Loads of different settings. Pretty good. Got 3 info screens, look. You got your first one, second one, and you can change it all to this is, I think they call this one digital, and you can go analog or the opposite way, but you can have this totally different. So you've got like a round speedo over here and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, in the settings inside is fantastic. Loads of settings. I'll quickly show you. So you've got all these settings and more. There's loads more. So you've got your advanced up there, look, see? So you can go in there into advanced, and it's I gotta remember, I think it's 1 9 1 oh hang on, 1 9. There you go. And then you can go for all this. Now, as you can see, I have 2 error codes there, an 05 and a 21. The 05, I can't remember what that was, but that's basically because I've done this firmware thing. But it threw it the first time I put it on, and it's never thrown it again. But the 21, I keep getting that error. If I use the throttle, it does it, but also whilst riding, which is really annoying me. Like the way it comes out. So if you don't select something, it'll come back out and put you straight back on the other screen, which I like as well, by the way. Okay, but yeah, so I've done lots of firmware updates, and thinking about it, I've watched some of my videos back and I've had nothing but usual battery problems. So I swapped the battery out, 48 to 52, because I had one on my Norco. So I swapped them around and still getting issues. And all the time I thought it was down to the TFTs I'm using, and it's actually not. As I found someone on a forum who's had the same problem, and yeah, and he's got the exact same problems as what I've got, throwing the same codes and everything. And he's tried several different firmwares. I haven't got the original, so I can't mess with the original. But he said he was going to have a look and see if he could find it, because he did have it. But yeah, if he's got it, I will try it before I do anything drastic. But yeah, anyway, so basically what happens is when I cycle, I lose my miles per hour, and occasionally a little brake signal comes up here. But yeah, so what I've done at the minute is I don't actually have brakes connected into it. So I have ridden with the throttle disconnected. It made no difference. I've ridden with the gear selector one disconnected, and it made no difference. And obviously if I disconnect the speed sensor, there's not much point, because that's the whole point of what I'm trying to sort out. Anyway, so I'm going to take it for a ride and see what this firmware is like. This is the open software for anybody to add or help and all that. I'll put a link in the description in it, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it seems quite good. You can turn a lot of stuff off, because I can actually turn off that down there, but the bike has been really juddery and not giving me real battery sends out, which everything points to being the actual controller faulty. So may have to get one, or maybe upgrade to the HD version motor, which will give me a lot more power, and then I can pop more wheelies. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, let's take it for a ride, and I'll set the camera up so it tries to catch more of this than anything, just so as we can see. Anyway, let's crack on with it. So there you go. Tested it all as best I can now. I've changed this one out 3 times, the speed sensor, only because I've got 2 spares, all brand new, so you could definitely rule this out. So I've gone online, motor's nice and cool, there's no heat in it. I've literally just pulled in here. So basically what it is the controller. I've read online, and there's another chap with the exact same problems what I had. And he tried all the different firmwares like I have, and basically it's yeah, so it's the controller I need to swap out. So all the time when I've been testing all these different monitors, there's been nothing wrong with them whatsoever. All my battery levels, it's the actual thing itself. But yeah, so basically I'm going to have to swap out the controller, or I might even, I can actually get the controller for about 75 quid, but for about 500 I can actually upgrade it to the you know, to the HD one, like, which is obviously a lot more power on it. It's like I've got in my Trek, and I am tempted to go down that route really, and then still buy the controller for this one for another build at another point. But yeah, so we'll see how we go with it, I guess. But what I'll do is I'll take the motor out and check all the wiring is the next thing before I actually decide what I'm going to buy to repair it. But yeah, a bit of a bugger, but there you go. It's a shame, but yeah, I've had nothing but issues with it. Of course, I've been thinking it's because I've been changing the TFT monitor parts, like, you know, and it's not been that at all. After reading a few of the chaps, like messages on the forums on there, on Endless Sphere. But yeah, but I've got a fully customized actual firmware in there now that you can actually, I could actually turn this sensor off. You can turn off your gear sensor, which I don't actually use. That's up under there, because I use one of the front brake sensors, like the old style here, which does a good job, and I've got that on all my bikes, no problem. But yeah, I'll put a link in the description to where you can get the files, and there's a lot of guys on there who give you a lot of good help. Anyway, I'll catch you again in the next one. Stay safe out there. Get out and ride.